All right, I was going to try and go fancier than that, but I figured I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go with the one this time, but I just wanted to have a little fun there. Heather,
You know why? Let me tell you why. Because tonight's guest has you so excited. You're like little bees are buzzing all over the place or something. So I can't wait. This one's going to be fun. It's going to be very hard to wrangle you all in. But.
You're absolutely right. I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. And I just want to say that this guy, I fell in love with this guy, and I'm happily married. So
bromance going on. We got a bromance.
No, I just want to say though that this guy, he's just so personable and everything else. And a lot of people do know him. You guys do know him. Some of you do, some of you don't that are watching, I'm sure. But he has a channel over, and I just love these two guys, and I used to watch them all the time. And I'm going to let you touch on that a little bit, Scott, if you want to. It's up to you, but I'm going to introduce right now Scott Peachey. Please come in. Say hello to everyone.
Hey, everybody. How's it going? That's an interesting. Woo.
Is there a way that we can make Scott a permanent part of the show? I mean, it's so infectious. I just love it. All right. Anyway.
I mean...
A lot of energy. A lot of energy.
Anything's possible when you put enough product in here.
Yeah, baby.
Very, very easy. We can make that happen. No questions. Hi, everybody.
And Scott, you're a product expert just as I am, and that's how I kind of met you too in person and that kind of thing. But you and Greg had a show forever, and you can touch a little bit on Greg too if you want to. But I want to tell you, I love your show, what you guys do, and the connection you guys had. I think that's why Heather says it's infectious and she wants you here, because you just have a blast, don't you? I mean, you look at life and just having a blast. So
I do. Life is hard. Life is very difficult. Why not have fun when we're doing it? I was talking to some people at the office today that said, why are you so personal all the time? I was like, life's hard. Why don't we just make it the best way we possibly can? Let's have fun. I'm a guy. For the longest time, there was a really small group of people at work that knew me as Dancer.
I love it.
Because constantly one of these, and they're like, what is that guy's deal? They're like, that's just Scott. She told me, no joke, 7 months after the fact, she was like, someone called you Peachy, and I was like, who is that? And they're like, that guy, you'd literally talk to him every day. She goes, oh, Dancer? Oh yeah. I was for the longest time.
That's hilarious.
But you're right. With the show that Greg and I had, it was a wonderful show.
Tell us the name of the show so everybody who might be watching doesn't knows the name of the show.
Yeah, so it was Technically Speaking Live. It was just pretty simple. We had played with the idea of calling it a bunch of different things at one time, but we just settled on the fact that the name of our channel was Technically Speaking. So we just went with Technically Speaking Live. It usually was always Thursdays at 8 p.m. And if it's anything like maybe this show or shows like it may not have always started on time.
Yeah, we kind of know what that's like. Yeah, a little bit.
We really tried hard.
We never tried. You know what, Scott? That's the problem. We never tried hard. From day one, I said to him,
we said
8 something. It's never going to start on time. I know you better than that. But anyway, go ahead.
We really tried hard. We did. But we tried hard. Then it became the running gag. But so Thursday nights, 8 p.m. is usually when we had our live show. Yes. You can go back, you can watch all the live shows. And, Michael, I'm going to touch on it. Unfortunately, gosh, it was April 10th. Mm-hmm. We actually lost Greg, unfortunately. It was nothing bad or anything like that. It was just... the whole world was basically kind of turned upside down at that given point. He thought I was infectious.
Yeah, I agree.
That and more for sure. So it was definitely a shock. I miss him every single day. There's not a moment in the day that goes by where I haven't thought of him. He's usually, even before my wife, he was usually the first one that I texted. I was like, I've got to tell Greg this. So, one of the things that we talked to his family after the fact, I'm still very much in constant contact. Greg had 4 kids. The youngest was a month old at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was very, very young. And this is one of the things. This is why I love doing shows like this. This is why I love making content.
Yeah.
Because how many of us have had those situations where we talk about I really wish I could hear the voice of someone who passed years ago, and they cling to a 30-second voicemail, or they cling to a long voicemail. We have 80 hours.
Wow.
80 hours of just, first of all, it's nonsense.
I got
complete banter between Greg and I. So when his kids grow up, when they get older, they can see his mannerisms, what he was like, how intelligent he was, how funny he was, how we both enjoyed life. So it's one of those things, like, just a god-awful situation, and I absolutely hate it. And like I said, I miss him every single day. But his kids are going to have 80 hours of content. They can see their dad, see what he was like going all the way into his 30s. So it's just that's probably one of the biggest things that I love the fact that we did with our live show. This doesn't even count like the family vacations and things like that. This is literally just stuff that's widely available for the internet to consume.
That's awesome, Scott.
I'm serious. Yeah, that is just absolutely awesome.
There's also something else that you're doing, or at least I've seen it over on Twitter, something that you're doing about, like, to help his family.
We do, yeah. We have a GoFundMe. The GoFundMe, I believe it's Friends of Greg Root. Greg's name was Greg Root. I got a hair out of place. Sorry, I do have ADD, so I will definitely jump over the page with that.
One of those roots is out of place.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I mean, look, there's so much product. I can only have it a little bit, but we did start a GoFundMe for Greg and his family. All the money goes to his wife and his kids. It's been wonderful. It's been absolutely fantastic. The outpouring of support has been great. But that, for me, has not stopped. I also started a contest called Greg's Legacy, which someone very quickly on Twitter told me that I missed out on the potential of calling it the Gregacy. So that's next year.
That's next year, cool. Yeah, exactly. So next year.
I worked with a bunch of folks that made some donations, a bunch of other YouTubers.
I saw that. You've got a lot of backing for this. It's a really great thing. How many folks do you have who, well, I should let you finish telling exactly what it is that you've got going on, but I want to know how many have submitted so far.
So what we did, we had I think 8 submit.
Okay, cool.
We had 8 people submit, but the purpose was Greg and I, we're not very big YouTubers. I mean, most people talk about, like, the numbers are what they are. We feel like we're very small YouTubers in a really big pond.
Yeah, of course.
But I wanted to uplift some other YouTubers, some smaller YouTubers, smaller creators, and say, hey, here's some stuff that you can use to get started. So, like, I got the lights that I'm using right here to kind of make me look good, and then a Pixel 3a XL to really kind of jumpstart how you should film your stuff. And we'll talk more about that later in this show, about how you can use your mobile device. And that in the industry is what we call a segue.
I'm telling you, I want this guy here all the time. Is that possible?
We're definitely going to
talk more about this, Michael.
Yeah, in this particular show, we're going to talk about that. But again, having a mobile device, I got Moment Lenses, the folks at Moment, just fantastic. If you don't know the company, and we're definitely going to talk more about them, they're just wonderful people. They actually donated $300 worth of gear.
Wow.
Greg, I was like, hey, would you guys be interested in maybe throwing, like, $50? Like, no, here's 300. Great, fantastic.
My eyes are, like, literally watering. I've been following a lot of that on Twitter. I think it's an amazing thing that you're doing. I'm just so impressed. Impressed. Really awesome.
That. So the winner of his name was Mike Huggard. I think is his last name. He's out there. Mike is the winner. His video submission was fantastic. He touched on every single aspect of what we were looking for. But he also, what he's looking to do is, I have 3 kids, so, like, my kids are very near and dear to my heart. Greg had 4 as well. He's making content specific to children.
Awesome.
And I immediately was like,
safe content for kids.
He wants to make educational, safe content for children. He showed some of the stuff that he was really looking to do. And as far as I know, he's really flourishing. I've seen some of his studio lights set up. I've seen him what he's using his mobile for. He was a really good first recipient of the Greg Legacy thing. So I'd love this time next year, I'm going to try to do something again. Hopefully I can start to get more. Again, I got a lot of donations from folks to get the Google Pixel device and a ton of other stuff. Donated the Everyday Dad, who was a big, supporter of the channel. Michael, you guys here were a big.
Oh yeah.
You guys gave a lot of resources. So again, my thanks to all of you for all of this. I couldn't have done. I was just the guy who was just kind of spearheading all getting all the cats together. But I couldn't have done it without this entire community, and it's been fantastic watching the community rally around this. Like really big YouTubers, hundreds of thousands, 500,000, million YouTubers, and across all kinds of genres. The LA Beast, which is a competitive eater, just a funny guy. And that's the thing, is he found our channel and he watched our stuff and he reached out to me, sent me video messages, really uplifting video messages. It's amazing that this particular platform has really lent itself. It gave me faith in humanity again, more than I could have ever imagined.
That's awesome. That is just awesome.
It's pretty incredible. I mean, I'm gonna show your channel again real quick. I want to make sure and keep showing that, because you folks, if you need to go over there, you need to check it out, because the technically speaking, like you said, the past videos, you will laugh for hours watching something.
God. One of my favorite memories is, and it's a video that's 6 or 7 minutes long. One of my favorite memories, really close to one of our last shows, was we did a Google Duplex live, a little rendition. During the live show, we said, "Hey, Google Duplex is available."
Yes, I remember that one. Oh,
try it live, unscripted, unedited, and there's a moment where what the Google Assistant has to do is verify your contact information.
Oh Lord!
My phone number, my email address, my address. So she starts validating it.
Oh, this is live
on air, and I was and so there's this moment where I stuffed my phone in my belly, and I'm going, no, to try to
la la la. I'm not listening. Please don't be listening.
Hilarious moment. It was so much fun. So much fun.
That's so good. Well,
if you're gonna watch any of them, watch that one.
Exactly. I have to say,
Andrew says, "Hold on, you got to bring up this comment. Can I do it? Can I do it?"
Yeah, please.
Well, I can't bring it up, but anyway, Andrew says it was. He said, "I saw that. It was wild." So
yeah, it was absolutely wild. I think Andrew was there live too.
Probably.
Yeah, it was a hysterical moment.
That's awesome. So, I have to say, because I know I've been watching. You're still going. You're still doing stuff, and I love what you're doing. I really do.
Thank you.
And some things I'm like, okay, I'll watch the video. I always watch all your video, but then I'm like, I really don't need that or whatever. That probably doesn't apply to me. But what I love about it is that it is a resource. I've gone back to your videos and actually left comments on some of your older videos.
Yeah,
and you respond back saying, yeah, dude, here's what you need, or you need to do this or that kind of thing. Yeah. So I love to use it as a resource too, because you guys have gone over so many cool and different products. But I have to say, I love your latest one, and I'm going to mention it because it's really cool. And it's probably another good segue, is that Rhode. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. And
awesome.
Oh man, this thing was, so it's this big. So I'll show you.
Oops, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
So it's really small. So in the palm of my hand, you can see that it's incredibly small. If anybody's ever seen a moment lens is this big. This thing is roughly that size. So it's not large by any stretch of the imagination. You can clip it basically to.
Thank you, Russ, for the super chat. I have to blank out whenever I do that. Russ,
no, dude, please. Hey, Russ. This is a great show. I love this stuff. It's like, who else is up? Who else is like, I got one going for $6. $6 right now. $10?
Oh, I'm telling you, Scott has to be a permanent fixture. If you get nothing out of today's show, it needs to be that Scott's a permanent fixture from here on out.
I love it. I have so much fun with this. I love live stuff. It's been a long time since I've done live, so I'm almost giddy, but I'm just kind of.
Oh, that's how we always are. No big deal.
So the Rhode Wireless Go, super small. I did a review many months ago on a Samsung, not Samsung to be confused.
Right. Yeah.
Wireless microphone system. I mean, it was great. Don't get me wrong. It sounded good. It did cut out every once in a while. And then Rhode went and did this. Now, this completely, in my opinion, I didn't even talk about this in the review. It changes the landscape of really recording with your mobile. And that's
really.
Yeah, so like you mentioned before, kind of off stage, I guess I could say that. When people are vlogging, you typically see something like this.
Yeah.
Really big and intrusive.
Yeah, what
and
do they call that thing, like a dead cat or some terrible name?
It's a dead cat. That's what it's called. So it's a dead cat filter, but underneath is the Rode shotgun mic. And there's nothing wrong with this particular thing. It's just heavy, cumbersome.
Obtrusive?
Yeah, that's probably the best way to describe it. Now, when you have a full mobile setup, like if you use your camera, I actually happen to have mine off camera here for a second. So if I have this and I'm, recording somewhere in the vicinity like this, that's kind of heavy. Then you start to add
exactly.
You add a microphone on top of that, and now
I know that is obtrusive. So what I was talking about before we went live, I was talking about vloggers that I follow, and I see them traveling the world, and they're going into lunch, at a cafe or what have you, and it's like they're sitting there with their families. They're there with their families, and they are having this conversation with a camera that looks like that, like what you just showed. And it's so crazy. That would not be comfortable to me. And I like to talk.
Yeah. Not only that, but when you're walking down the street, you just get the craziest looks. Like, why has this person got this dead cat pointing it at their face? Or, God forbid you go into an actual establishment or some type of company, and they're like, you got to get out with that recording.
Right.
Right. Now, so in this particular setup right here, this is a full, including a microphone, this is a full 4K mobile setup. Everything right in the palm of my hand.
Now, you didn't say it was full 4K to start with, so that's impressive. Okay. All right. So right there in the palm of your hand, tell us exactly what you got going on.
So the device I have in here is this is a Google Pixel 3 XL. I absolutely love the Googles. Everybody knows this. I love the Google. I have a 3A XL under here as well. So either one of those work. I have the Rode Wireless Go with the correct adapter. And obviously, since we don't have a headphone jack, I have to use the adapter that plugs into the bottom of the Pixel device. The cage that I have around it is a Beast Grip Pro. It's $120 or so. So, I mean, this is not necessarily the cheapest setup. But
okay, so let me ask you, I want to ask you, if I don't have the Pixel 3 XL,
okay,
that's what you said, right?
Correct.
If I don't have that one, am I stuck? Like I can't use that device, or
no. Do you mobile phone? Take any mobile device.
I got a mobile phone.
You have a Samsung, you have a Huawei, you have name it, you got it. Typically it's Apple. So if you're an Apple ecosystem person, it's
everything but a Windows phone. No, I'm just kidding.
I would say probably a Windows phone would work.
I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Hey,
but my Nokia. What about my Nokia? Anyway,
it was a great phone, but so this is how you set up any
BlackBerry won't fit. BlackBerry won't fit. The big fat boy won't fit.
Wow. Taking him way back. Scott's like, I don't know. I'm willing to try.
Well, this whole setup, you put your mobile device in this, and this is universal. Like it can stretch up and down depending on which device you want to put in.
Mm-hmm.
You put the device in, you strap it in. You can see here you have enough space for, I don't know, something like a mobile or a Moment lens. So now I have a Moment lens.
Okay, now I didn't watch the video on the Moment lens, so please explain just real quickly, what is the Moment lens?
I'll get to that. How about that?
Okay, fine. We'll let Scott run the show. That sounds good.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm out of practice. I'm not sure with this yet. So now at this point, I can record. If you have a device like an iPhone 6, which still, I think the iPhone 6 or 7 still does 4K. I'll get to that. I don't record in 4K because I think it's overrated. 1080p is just fine, and a lot of devices still do that. Plus this, now I have a full recording studio that goes with me.
So that clip there is your microphone?
That's the microphone.
Crazy. That's crazy.
This is the entire microphone. What's cool with this is like what you can see right in there.
Yeah.
Right where my finger is, like that. I gotta go over this way. That is a microphone.
Oh wow! So it's protected by wind.
It is.
It's down inside, right?
Yes, but it also comes like inside the little bag over here. they give you, and I've never had to put it on it, but they give you a windsock that you could put on it.
Wow.
And so, like, if I
So
need,
then you just look like an Italian.
right, it does.
You just look, then you just look a little Italian there. That's all.
All I have to do is put this on there like this, and now I have a full windsock.
So instead of a dead cat, it's kind of a dead mouse.
Right, it's like I look at it as like a caterpillar that's becoming a butterfly.
Right, there you go. I like that.
So all of this, but if you just say, for example, you're like, you know what? Hey, I don't have a shirt like this to clip it to. It's a transmitter that you can plug in a regular, just a lavalier mic. Like I say, if I can run a lavalier mic and put it up on my shirt or something like that. This also right here, where you can see the little microphone. I should probably turn it over like this. You can see the little microphone over here by my pinky. You can plug in a lavalier mic, any lavalier mic, not any lavalier mic that you have. Plug it in. This is a transmitter that you put on your pants. So now you run your lavalier mic up to here. That's it.
So cool.
So you can use this if you want, and you can also put it down here and use it as a transmitter that runs up. And again, this is still the same setup. Nothing has changed. Like, it's not connected to the phone other than here, and you're running 1080p with moment lenses. It's a great vlogging setup.
After the show, I'm going to reach out to you on moment lenses, because I know you've done a couple things with them and everything, but I'm going to reach after the show when we invite we have a community that we have that it's a paid for community, but we bring them in afterward. And when we do that today, I'm just going to say that is going to be one of the things that I am going to do and talk to you about, because I'm seriously thinking about, I really want to get especially the wide angle. They say when you're doing, getting B-roll or any of that kind of stuff, it's good to have that wide lens. So I will be doing that today. I'm just saying. So. Oh,
for sure. And Heather, to your point about the moment lenses. So the good thing about Moment, the folks at Moment, which are just fantastic people just in general, the Moment lenses really take your personal device, whether that's an iPhone, an Android, a Samsung. They've actually done the OnePlus. I believe they've done Huawei too. So like, they're really branching out in terms of which devices they support. But you get a phone case specific to your device, and then all of a sudden, all of their lenses just bolt on. It's just a quick, simple twist, and you get wide angle and tele, which means you can zoom in. My favorite lens from Moment right now is the 58 millimeter tele lens. It gives the best portraits I've ever seen. So you guys know, and I'm a huge Google person. The Pixel device is the single best portrait picture taking machine, I guess that's the way to put it, ever. Like, that, to me, that is the top. I know the Samsung event was today, so to be fair, I haven't watched it. But the portrait mode from a Pixel device is absolutely stunning. If you go to my Instagram, you can see some of the photos that I've taken. Some of the photos I have hanging on the wall, actually, in my studio here. Not this one. This one over here.
Right.
Is from the Avengers. Don't worry about that.
Michael, where's the Scott Peachey at Instagram banner? Put that one up, will you please? Yeah. Make sure you guys head on over to Instagram, check out at the Scott Peachey. Check him out, and you can see exactly what he's talking about over on Instagram.
There are some of those photos. I took a photo of Diagon Alley at Universal Studios in the Harry Potter land. And it was so good, I blew it up to, I don't know, it's a fairly, like, that size poster. I blew it up to something that was that size, and it's sitting in my daughter's room because she just loves the picture that much. It is my favorite picture I've ever taken, and I took it with a phone. And
that's awesome. That is so. Hold on. I have to recognize. Look at there. Thank you, Roz, for the super chat. Bless you.
Coming through. I love it. Who's next? Like $5. I got $10. I'm here at 10.
She's awesome too. Let me tell you, she's from Australia, and I think it's 7, maybe 6:30 in the morning there. So
yeah. All of our notifications woke her up, I believe, is what she said on one of the.
I'm so happy that those notifications woke you up, and that you would start the day with the three of us.
That's right.
And this Mohawk.
You want to know something really funny? She ended her night by saying, by being on my show in the morning. which
Really?
is morning for me. But yeah, before she goes to bed, she pops in to say hello to me.
There we go. She says 7 a.m. There you go.
There you go.
Just having
There
a
you go.
little bit of
Is
So
Oh,
I do have to say to our audience, we are not getting the YouTube comments. So those
We're
of you
not
who
getting
are
it.
over there commenting, I see Richard Clarkson, Mia Voss, Andrew, Roz, Russ. You guys are all over there on
Miss
YouTube,
Sheila.
and we're very grateful.
Miss Sheila's
Oh,
out,
Miss Sheila, Dan
Miss
Soderholm,
Sheila's out there.
and there is Miss Sheila, and Gord is over there. I didn't roll it up, and Arthur Moorhead. Thank you guys. Thank you all for being here.
Yes.
Remind me who is NLTMW?
That is Mike.
Mike.
His name-
Hi, Mike.
Just no Mike.
Careful, Mike's driving. Be careful. Don't say anything scary, okay? Just really grateful that you guys are here, and I apologize that we aren't able to bring your comments up on screen. So,
Yeah.
so that entire thing that you had in your hand.
this thing right here.
Now, you've used this. You've said, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this, but you said that you've been shooting some A-roll, B-roll, and you're getting ready to do something really cool.
I am.
We're not going to spoil that.
I'll
That's
tell
something
you.
pretty
I'll-
awesome.
I'll straight up
Oh,
tell
okay.
you.
Go ahead.
I talked about it on
All right.
Twitter. If you follow me on my Twitter, I said I had this idea,
All right.
and quite a few people thought it was a great idea. I was actually
I think
pretty
it's phenomenal. That's why I was like hinting to it.
Right. I was really surprised at that. Kind of the outpouring is. I've always had this idea. It's like everybody always talks about like you can do so much with an iPad, and you can use like LumaFusion, and you can use like not interested. This is what I want to know. Android. I love Google. I love Android. I love all that stuff. I've said that 5 times now.
At least.
I'm going to record A and B roll on this rig right here with my Rode microphone. So I'm going to do just like you see here, probably actually in this same space you see behind me, record all of that with my phone, only on my phone. And I'm going to upload it to Google Photos. Then I'm going to open a Pixel book and I'm going to pull it down from Google Photos. And then I'm going to edit in what I'm shooting for is Adobe Rush, which is an application that you can use currently on a Google Pixel 3 device. You can currently edit video using Adobe Rush on your phone. I'm going to completely edit all of the video. I'm going to try to make it exactly like I normally do in my regular setup. I don't use Adobe products. I use a Final Cut Pro from a Mac. Make it all there and show you truly can go.
That's awesome.
Start to finish, edit, record, edit using completely Google services and a Pixel book, which is on the Chrome platform.
That's incredible.
The goal is to then push it to YouTube and say, you have the power to do this today.
It's almost like wire-free, almost hands-free, all in your hands. You got it done.
Yeah, that my goal is basically to take something like this and a book, something you can carry very easily in a very small bag and make, if you wanted to, 4K content. But
you just took blogging from incredibly obtrusive and time-consuming and frustrating to absolutely doable for just about anybody.
You know, one thing
that's huge to me.
It is huge. One thing I want to say too, we actually did, I think it was one of our shows that we did, Heather, with Power Director. You and I both got that for our Pixel book.
Yep.
Using Power Director to edit videos and do that kind of stuff too. Same.
I love it. I use it all the time.
Yeah, once you get this stuff, put that in there, put your film together, and see how it turns out. I mean,
I don't use Adobe products either, so I haven't actually ventured over to that side. I don't know, and that's really the biggest reason, is Michael's saying it's money. And so, Power Director Pro, I actually use that on my computer. And so I just looked to see if they had an app, and they did. And it works on my Pixel. It works on my Chromebook. I love it. It's like $40 the entire year. I don't know if it's I think it's a year. It's like $34 or something. I don't know, whatever. But it was super cheap. And it works so easy.
Yeah, Adobe Rush right now I think is $10 a month.
Oh, that's even better.
But
do you cloud.
Do you have to have Adobe a product though ahead of time? That's the only. Oh, you don't. Okay, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can get it as a standalone.
Cool.
I have it again. I have it a part of my Creative Cloud, but I never used it because quite honestly, it didn't support a lot of stuff in the beginning. But my whole point out of this is like just to show you again, you don't have to have things like a dead cat,
right?
And also with the Rode, like I mean, I showed you in the one last video, I was in a parking lot and I walked really far away.
200 feet. I remember you were doing in that video.
200 feet. Okay, so since you brought it back up, I want to ask about the microphone because I think it was Richard said something about being. Do you have to be?
Find out what he said because he had a good comment out there. I'm sorry we can't bring him up, folks. I don't know why.
Yeah, I get it. He said
in line with the transmitter, or you won't get to hear it. Correct? Because you did. You did
definitely affected my line of sight. So like you'll see in the video at one point, I turn around when I'm really far away. Like if you turn around when you're not far away, it's not such a problem. So if you moved around like this a lot, fairly close to the camera, it wouldn't be a problem. But when I was, 150 feet away and I turned around to it, just my body was enough to cut off the sound.
There you go. There you go.
That's all.
Okay,
awesome.
Well, that's pretty cool. So, I mean, in a typical setting, you're going to do an interview with somebody. You're going to be sitting next to them or standing next to them, and you're going to be talking. You might turn to them. You might turn back to the camera. All these things are possible. If you're 200 feet away from your phone's probably going to disappear. So, I wouldn't suggest that, right?
Yeah, I actually mentioned this. I was like, I am never going to be that far away from my phone. Like if I'm by myself, nope. Like I spent a lot of money. It's like I'm going to go ahead and put this in my pocket.
Right.
Like,
I know I would. I'm going to follow Scott Peachey around, waiting for him to walk 200 feet away from his phone.
You're going to be waiting a long time.
So now, one of the things that you did mention with that really cool setup was all of the little ports underneath, where you can put stands and things. Can you talk about that some more?
So actually, this is a setup, the real setup. This is just a Manfrotto Pixie tripod. If you want like a setup, you had to do it really quick on the fly. That is a full setup.
Look at that. If we had an applause button right now, I would sound like something similar to this.
So
that's pitiful, but seriously, that's awesome.
Right now, you could, in essence, you could have a light on there. You could have a microphone, which is your Rhode, which would connect.
Or you can have another device.
I love it. There we go. So we talked about this.
I guess we can do this live.
Hey, you know what? I just thought of this. So while you're attaching that, I just thought of this. You actually have a flashlight capability on that phone, so you could actually have that as a light too.
Yeah, you could do a flashlight on this one.
Yeah.
If you didn't have one in a pinch, you could do this.
Yeah.
While I have this, I'm going to just step briefly off. Like I have a giant Manfrotto tripod right here. So this is a big guy.
Oh my, look at that. Adult Tinker Toys, exactly right.
It's true. Adult Tinker Toys. So if I wanted like a full blown like this, that's probably it's a really old but really expensive tripod.
That's a good question.
Emphasis on the old.
Ross talks about a power supply too. That's a good point.
Yeah, what size power supply would you need to carry all that around with it to power all that? Whatever you need for your cell phone, if it's losing power.
So if you have a car battery handy,
right? No.
This is a full-blown setup.
Look at this.
A big tripod if you wanted.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a full.
Look at how quick it was to set that up, Michael.
Oh, I know. And hey, what's the small tripod that you had? I love that tripod.
The Manfrotto Pixie.
God. And you're gonna have to kind of spell that for me because Manfrotto or Manfrotto? Oh, there it is.
Right there. Frotto.
Manfrotto Pixie.
So it wasn't even too heavy. It didn't flip it or anything.
Mm-mm. And the nice thing about this is like you can handhold.
Yeah. Any idea cost? Any idea cost?
This is like $20.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now you're talking my language.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to buy all my equipment here, Heather.
I know. I like this. What Mark Bear says, we'll have to use a Tesla charging station. I love it.
So here's the other thing about the Rhode. It's USB Type C, so I only need one charger with me. So I can take like a 2,000 milliamp hour battery with me, and I can just charge all of this on USB-C.
Wow.
Hey, let me ask you, because I know you answered this when I went back and watched your video. I went and I saw you do this whole setup, but you reached out to me and answered me right away, which I love. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You have a little cord there. that's connecting on there. You said that's what I would have to buy. That's about the only other thing, accessory or whatever, for using that with my Pixel. Is that correct?
Yes. So let me pull it up.
That'd be great.
You need this little adapter right here. So this adapter for Rode, I think it's the, I can't remember. I have to give you the exact comments. So like a TRS to TRRS or something like that. The reason is it's got something to do with the triple gold and black rings that's on this particular.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's why. So you need this little cord. This cord's like $13, I think, on Amazon.
And what does that connect? Tell them what that connects exactly to.
This will connect. Hang on, let me go over here. So one end, obviously, you'll have the Rode mic that plugs into this end right here.
Okay.
And then you'll have this additional end. If you're a Pixel owner like me, or have something where you have to use an adapter, you plug this particular end in. This white thing is the adapter I got with the Pixel device.
Right.
This is USB Type C.
Yes, perfect.
That's it. This is all you need.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. And the other end goes into your.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Let me pull this off real quick.
Okay. I'm just making sure everybody's clear on that. Yes, it is. Ross has down there. It is US Type C for a Pixel phone.
Yes.
Yeah, so it really depends on which device you're talking about using, and we're talking about Pixel specific, and they do USB-C. Yep.
Yes. So here is the Rode mic. Now I'm going to go from Rode mic right here in my hand. Yeah. Here's a Pixel device in my hand, and I'm going to show you how I connect it. This is the cord that comes with it. Yep. That's the first thing that I need. Then I need to take my adapter to the actual microphone that we have plugged in. This adapter will go into my Pixel device.
That's awesome.
This is it. This is everything that you need in order to make that Rode mic go. The red cord and the white. So this white one was given to me from Google, obviously, because you had to have it for the Pixel device. Yep. And then this red also comes with it. The only additional cost is this one here in the middle. It's like $12, and it works with. I can plug that into my laptop. I can plug that whatever requires that adapter. The adapter is universal. So that's it. That's how I set my Rode mic up.
So Construction Cronies asked. He didn't really ask. He just stated my Rode and the SC4 doesn't work together. What is SC4, guys?
That's another adapter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work together.
And it's probably not the three prong one. I think. I mean, I don't know that, but I think that's what it might be.
That gold with the 3 rings, black rings.
Let's see what the SC4 adapter.
So he said, oh man, that's what's going on. I need one more attachment. He's been going nuts. So hey, if we helped one person, I am so excited for that. So glad you popped in. I know, that's how I feel about it.
Mine does not.
There's not a Pixel. Do I still need that cord? Yes. So if you, any mobile device, because of the way Rode is, any mobile device will need this adapter. That includes the iPhone. Okay.
Good answer. Yeah, so that's perfect. So it's basically that cord is your translation for any other device or whatever. So that's the way it gets. Okay.
So the only thing that you don't need, like this is the translator for mobile devices. I can plug directly in just using the regular stuff to my camera because my camera's equipped for that. But basically the translator for the mobile devices, because the mobile devices are not. Their 3.5 millimeter jack is not equipped that way.
Right.
Basically, translation for that.
All right. So everybody's asking. So now, Construction Cronies and Gord Iceman both. They said, "What is the added adapter again?" We need to actually spell this out for them. So let me spell it out. You just tell me what it is, and I will spell it out. Put it in a banner so they can all see it. So
I have to remember what I told you that it was. Don't judge me. I don't remember things. I'm going to my comments right now.
You take your time on that, and Heather and I will speak.
That's fine because Roz asked. I'm using Apple's. You know, she's in the Maxiverse. So, is it still possible? I had to go let the dog outside. The answer is yes, my dear.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Russ said my Manfrotto has been ordered. So we helped 2 people today. Awesome. Way to go, Scott.
That's what I do.
That's so
Yay.
Yeah, I really like what Andrew just said. Add a product list to the video description later. I
That's a
think
great idea. That's a
I
great
think
idea.
what might be
Actually-
a great idea. Do you have a kit or an Amazon store or any of that stuff, Scott?
Yes. So all the links for
Yeah.
every product is in the description of the videos.
Oh,
Every
fantastic.
product.
See what I mean, guys?
Now, do
Thank you.
you have Amazon attached to that though? I mean, is it part of
Of
your?
course he does.
It's
Yeah, of course.
affiliate links. I have. I think in the
And that's what we're gonna do.
B&H link as well. So I did. Thankfully, I'm a part of the B&H affiliate
That's-
program. I don't use that one very much, to be completely honest. I've completely forgotten about it. But everything that I use, every setup, every mic, every light, it's all in every single video description.
So if you haven't done it yet, you need to get over to Technically Speaking YouTube channel. You need to check out every one of these product videos that he has. You need to check out those links there. That is where you're going to not only get exactly what you're asking, but you're also going to help Scott and fund his channel as well. So that's what you really need to do. That's what you really need to do.
So
And you know what? Hey, if you don't follow him on YouTube, you're missing out on those videos, but you can also follow him on Twitter and Instagram and check out all the other stuff that he does too. So make sure you do that.
Yeah, I have a ton of great content. That's not even a humble brag. I'm just going to come out and we definitely put a ton of energy into each of the videos. I love it. We do it with very modest stuff. This is not a crazy production studio. I do this in my basement. This is my one corner of my basement that I get in the house. So there's not much to it. Yeah, that's a great. You can see right there. I film on.
There's your 200-foot walk where you leave your camera.
Man, I wish I was in that parking lot.
This is the first time my oldest daughter. This is the first time she's ever helped me, and you can kind of see where it kind of moves around like this a lot. She was so excited that she was behind the camera. She's a fantastic camera woman. I love it. I'm so excited to have somebody to help me do these things, and she loved it. So it was great. So the adapter that you need is a SC4 3.5 millimeter TRS to TRRS adapter.
Okay, I'd like to buy a valve.
Michael was not at all paying attention, and you're going to have to start over.
So say that again. I'm sorry, you're going to have to say it again.
That's right. It's an SC4.
SC4
3.5 millimeter
3.5 millimeter
TRS
to
TRRS adapter.
Yeah, you had to have a freaking engineering degree just to know what you needed.
All right. So while you're typing that out, I got to say something, Michael. So we have, there it is on screen, you guys, so you can write it down. You use pen and paper to write down, guys, just so you know. We have some folks over on YouTube who are chatting with us. We got Gord is over there. Russ is over there. And Gord says, won't the Rhode SC7 work instead of the extra step?
With the SC7 adapter, you're probably talking about this.
I mean, for a camera, probably, but not a phone, right?
For a camera, for sure. For a mobile phone, because of the way that the 3.5 millimeter adapter is, it's this.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. And then Beauty Bubble has joined us. She says, great to catch the show, which is awesome. Thank you. She's one of the StreamYard awesome folks over at StreamYard, and she is here watching. She said,
she typed it in.
She typed it in. She said, note for me. Yeah, she wrote down the adapter info. So we can't bring up the comments from YouTube. That's why we're reading them like old school, but that's all right. We're good. All right. Make sure you check out Scott over at Instagram. This has been an amazing show.
Awesome.
I'm not kidding when I say I think Scott needs to be a part of the permanent show.
I love this.
We'll never get anything done, but it'll be so much fun.
Well, I mean, I'm not one to really do tactical things, I guess. I'm always I just throw out words and just react, and I wave my hands a lot. That's really what I do. If Miss Sheila's watching, she knows this. She watched our live shows all the time. I made what I call is big, hairy, audacious statements. So BHAS, just what I did. That's exactly what I do.
Right.
So,
it's the best. Okay, so here I have a really important, valuable question that I have to bring up on screen right now. Roz needs to know. Is that corrugated iron as a backdrop, or is it Plex, or is it Perplex?
I don't know what Perplex is.
I don't either, but that's why I figured you'd know. So
it's 10.
It's 10.
Yeah.
That's wicked.
So
that was that was the big question of the day. We got that answered. I love it.
When we moved into this house, I didn't know where I was going to record. Like, we've only lived in this house for a little over a year. I had no idea where I was going to record. And then I looked back here, and this was like, this little setup I was like, oh, this is actually pretty nice. I got great lights. Naturally, you know me, these are smart lights. I can change the color if I want. Do you talk to Google to change them? I do. That's my Google right there. Right here. Right there. All right. So my Google Home Max will tell me what color these are. Over there, I have some lights. Like, I have so much light in this particular space. It's ridiculous. And I don't like spending a lot of money on stuff. Like, I have no soundproofing at all. If my kid's running around upstairs, it's like heathens running around. But behind me is like, so another cheap trick that I learned about soundproofing. I bought moving blankets from Home Depot. Oh yeah, those are great. Yep, heavy, super. Did you see that comment from Gord? Check this out.
Followed Scott on Instagram and sub to his YouTube channel. Looking forward to seeing his content. There you go.
Thanks, Gord. Welcome to the channel.
That's awesome. It's awesome, isn't it? I love that stuff. I do. I'm so glad. I'm so glad we could help some people out there, because I really feel like we did help some people out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do too.
And that's kind of what we're about. Is these tech shows. This is it. Just getting it out there and letting people know, and that kind of.
It's not just so for me. It's not just reviews. One of my most popular videos is actually a series of videos now. At this point, is like, what's the difference between Google Photos and Google Drive? Like,
yeah, exactly.
With that, like, holy cow, what does that mean? Like, I just put a third edition of that question in a third video, like a month and a half ago. So it's not been very long. It's been doing really well. There's still tons of confusion about Google Photos and Google Drive. So it's, again, my channel is not just about actual devices. Like, yeah, it's a lot, but I want to answer those Google questions. And that's really why I was like, I really think if I could edit on a Chromebook or a Pixelbook all the way and show folks, you can live completely in the cloud and make quality content.
Very awesome. Very awesome. I really appreciate you being here, Scott. I think we could make this show go another 3-4 days, but there's sleep and, food and things that need to happen. And I'm sure the people out there would stick around for the whole darn thing too. So, I think we're going to have to say goodbye, and I don't like it.
But with that being said,
thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. It's nice to get back to doing stuff live. I haven't done it in a long time, so thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, and we want you to know too is you're more than welcome back too. Please come back
anytime. Like over and over. Actually, Wednesdays about this time is a really good time for you to come back.
Oh, really? Just Wednesday around 5-ish p.m.
Ish, yeah, ish.
I mean, if only there was a Google Calendar invite.
Oh, snap! Oh, snap! Roz says she's glad she got woken up. That says a whole lot to me right there.
Thank you, Roz. I appreciate it.
In Australia, that's a big deal too. Hey, we're also on the Twit. We're over there, or Twitter, whatever. I have to be careful saying that kind of stuff because I can't say what my dad used to call it because it's not a good word.
No.
But I'm serious. But anyway, God rest his soul. Anyway, and so but we do have a paid for community. We have a paid for community that members that they're going to get to come in after this and talk to Scott a little bit. You guys are going to get to come in and chat with.
That is the greatest perk of being a Tinkering with Tech community. You get one-on-one attention with the guest of the week. So absolutely. There's other stuff too. We talk about it all the time. You know what the deal is.
We thank all of you that participated on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, wherever I was. I think I was even on Periscope. I even did Periscope tonight. So I streamed out to every one of those at the same time, which is kind of cool, all through Restream. So, Yeah, that's what's really cool about this StreamYard, and those of you that watch all the time. This is really, really, really cool thing, and we appreciate you folks. We appreciate all your comments. I try to bring up as much as I can. Obviously, we had issues with the YouTube not coming over and the Facebook not coming over, but please, those members, we're going to send the invite link. We'll put it in our Discord channel. We'll also put it on the Hangouts message box that we have for the community. We'll do all of that stuff, and we would love to have you come in, talk to Scott a little bit. Feel free to do that. If you haven't already signed up with us, even for a month. Try it for a month. $10. What's that? Try it for a month. Come into the community and see what we do and see what we've got going on. We really appreciate you guys. And Scott, again, thank you so very much.
Of course, absolutely. Thank you. Again, I'm going to give you guys a plug here. For 2 Frappuccinos, for the cost of 2 Frappuccinos, you get a month. You get a month of content. You get how much attention do you get for just 2 Frappuccinos?
Oh,
You didn't need it anyway.
You know what? He doesn't even mention the tip of the day. He does these little tips every single day. Every single day. There are these little tips on all kinds of technology that you just wouldn't, and they're like maybe a couple minutes long at the most. And
so you're telling me I get one-on-one attention every day, and then I get live shows like this, and I get to go in and have one-on-one attention with the guests, and it costs me 2 Frappuccinos?
You got it. Yeah. Without tax. That's even before tax.
All right, I got to end sometime, so I might as well do it now. Thank you again, and we will see you guys in the after party. Those community members, come on in and join us. We would love to have you in there. If you can, I understand if you can't, but you're welcome to, because that's one of the perks of being in the community. Thank you so much again, Scott. And Heather, always a thank you to you, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, y'all.
Yep.